Hi, so this is my Israel GCCA application. I'm Sophie. So just some background, I think geography would be really helpful. Israel's located on the Mediterranean Sea, right here, as you can see in the map, in between kind of like the Middle East and Asia. It's been categorized in both places. I think one important thing for them, we like to know some background information, is their imports and exports. Um, I think both of their like what they import and export is very similar, including like diamonds, medication, medical equipment, um, some technology, vehicles, equipment, and computers. And they really import and export to some very like same places: U.S., China, Germany. Yeah. So what sets Israel apart? Um, their growth. So they became like a country in 1948, and this is a map or graph of their GDP the whole since the start of their country, and they were obviously very steady, and then you see the dip of COVID, which like makes sense, but they increased higher than ever, and right now it sits at 4.488 billion dollars. That's from 2021. So I think their COVID response is really important to note because obviously like the GCCA is part of um like responding to COVID, and Israel reacted very quickly to help send aid to like the most vulnerable communities and populations in their country. I think that's really important, just because I think the way a country reacts to um COVID and responds and tries to help the people is very important. Macro economy. Um, so this is just all of the stats in GDP, 4.488 billion USD. PPP is 55K. Um, per capita 52, and this is all in US dollars. And real growth rate 8.6, unemployment 4.121, inflation 1.5%, Gini coefficient is 61. 21% of their population lives in poverty. 32% of their taxes is part of the GDP, and the average for the country is 34. Public debt 60, HDI index 0.863, and their index economic freedom ranking is 68.9, and their happy planet index is 9. Employment. So in 2022, Israel's employment rate was 3.1%, and that's the lowest it has ever been in 42 years. Um, because of COVID, there was an increase of unemployment, but I think since things are starting to get back to like whatever is normal, um, it's been going down. And there are very good unemployment benefits through the Employment Service Bureau. Um, and there's also unionized labor in Israel, making about a third of the workforce unionized. Um, so yeah. So the new is or the Israeli new shekel is the form of currency that they use in Israel, 0.27 US dollars. So it's worth about a quarter of US dollar. Um, and the cost of living in Israel is about 37% lower than the US. So for the conclusion,
why I think that Israel should be accepted and be a member of the GCCA. Um, well, the GCCA was created, and the goal of it is to have like its member countries successfully overcome Omicron phase of COVID. And I think it's really important to note that like Israel did a very good job of um helping people who were having struggling in COVID, and it also they have done a very good job bouncing back even with some of like we're not completely at the normal yet. Um, so I think that they would be very beneficial and work well along with other countries to um help the whole world come together for overcoming the next phase of COVID. And these are my sources.